Playing in a piano quintet is like reading one of those choose your own adventure books. There are a ton of different choices. There are a ton of different paths that you can take. Some are hard and some are easy.
Playing in a quintet is like a group project or a group presentation where everyone has their own individual parts to play and it all has to come together.
Playing in a piano quintet to me feels like playing in a small orchestra, but there's a lot more responsibility placed on each player because you don't have an entire section to back you up. It's a much more intimate experience.
What is a piano quintet? Piano quintet to me is like playing a concerto with an orchestra. Being a pianist in a quintet setting really made me to be more sensitive and flexible.
What is a quintet? To me, it's pretty diverse. It's one of my favorite chamber music instrumentations. From inside, it feels just like a small orchestra.
How do we work? We work like any other chamber groups. We like to joke around and, get things done.
How do we work? From the bottom up.
So when we rehearse together, we usually like to work from the ground up.
For example, if we have a part that we want to focus on, we want to break down work, then we'll say, for instance, Cody, could you play that line there at letter A? And he'll play it, it'll be wonderful, and Bobby will say, well, I really like what you did there at the beginning, but at the end, could we have more of X, Y, and Z, or something? And then Cody might try, he might like it, he might not.
When playing in a quintet, there's always a hierarchy, but the hierarchy is never absolute. There are times where the first violin, which is what I play, is more important. There's times where the cello, or the viola plays, or the piano plays that is more important. And we have to look at the music and try and figure out who is important at what specific times.
In this case, the cello line, my line, has the most important voice in this section, being that it is the main theme of the movement. The tempo one is the recapitulation of the theme. In instances like this, where there's definitely one lead voice, the melody line, like leading the rest of the group, we usually like to have that player play for the rest of us so we can all hear what they want to do. So I played my melody line at the tempo 1 for the rest of the 4 members. They got to hear what I wanted to do with the phrasing, how I wanted to shape it, where I wanted to take time, all those rest of the things. So then the next part was adding the parts together. So after that, we added the cello line to the piano part. So Nina and I went through it a couple times just to get it down. Then after that, we would actually take just the piano part, had them play it with Nina, and just the 3 of them without me. And then once they figured that out, and then we tried to add my solo part back into the mix of things.
are sometimes where I will blossom out of the texture for a brief moment and say something pretty important, and then come back down into the mix. Other times, I really feel like an equal partner, both with the first violin, for example, but even more often with the cello. And some of those times where I get to put on different hats as a second violinist are really, really cool for me.
Here I was challenged to match their tone, especially how they use their bow. On the piano, I can't do up bow or down bow, so I studied how they phrase their melodies. By mimicking their phrasing, I could really help out their bowing and really blend my sound into their sound.
There are always obstacles that we had to overcome, and the hardest challenges were when more than one person was very passionate about the solution.
We figured it out. I mean, it took some time, but we did it.
Humor and of
The logistics of playing in a string quartet.
There's always challenges that arise whenever you're in a group, whether it be intonation, whether it be rhythm, whether it be sound production, balancing.
When accidents happen, it kind of feels like this. But really, it does actually help us in the end, even though sometimes it really does feel like we have to build up from the ground up again. But that's okay, because what happens is that we build something even more incredible and even more beautiful than we expected. The logistics of playing in a piano quintet is a nightmare. Honestly, the hardest part about logistics is that we have a piano, and that the piano is a non-portable instrument. That means that we are limited in where we can rehearse and what time we can rehearse. If those rooms aren't available or those places aren't available,
I really had fun working with them. They're very talented musicians and funny and very unique on their own. So I learned a lot, and they challenged me to be a better musician, and I hope to work with them again.
And while work is the main goal of our rehearsals, we still leave plenty of room to crack jokes with each other, have fun, what's the point of playing music if we can't enjoy it at the same time, I've really enjoyed working with this group for the past year, and I really hope I get the chance to again.
Collaborating with these musicians and with these guys has really helped me a lot this semester. I have a quote that is one of the quotes that I live by. It says, "If you do what you love, then you'll never work a day in your life." But being in this group, there's something about it that has allowed me to focus a lot more on the music than on getting a good grade. Because I know that if I do my best in this context, then everything else will work out. And being able to really focus on the music, to be able to work on my collaboration skills with other players, to be able to explore this really rich and unapologetically romantic music with these people has been a real gift for me.
The cool thing about it is that in the end, Some of us made sacrifices because we wanted to make music together, and there was no other time that we could meet. We gave up lunch, we gave up just being able to relax during a long day. And in the end, the result was more delightful than either of those things.
One of the most, I think, fun aspects about quintet playing and playing music in general is that there's no set path to get the outcome that you want.
The adventure is never the same.